Oh, hi. You're those guys who like to watch StarCraft videos. How you doing? I am Wookie. Thanks for coming back. And this is game 2 between Third and MtnDewMan. We've got our Zerg player here, MtnDewMan. This game is on Shakura... Wait, hold it. Is it Shakuras Plateau? Yes, Shakuras Plateau. And in the left top position here we have our Zerg player, MtnDewMan. And on the right top position we have XxThirdxX. Our XxThirdxX, whom I will call Third for the remainder. Why is... Now wait a minute. I see him as red, and when they get down here they turn green, and MtnDewMan is supposed to be red, but he looks blue, but some of them are red. Is that showing up that way for you guys? This is perhaps the oddest thing I have ever seen. That is crazy. Huh, there's green out here. I see a green dot on the mini-map, but it's red here, even though Third is supposed to be green. Huh. How about that? Well, that could be interesting. We'll see what becomes of this if it stays that way all game. That is funny. We got Christmas tree colors going on here. So, spoiler, if you have not seen the first game, I am about to reveal the winner of the first game. So if you don't want to know that, stop this and go watch the first game. In the first game, we saw XxThirdxX take a significant economic advantage after our Zerg player built a lot of static defenses and just did not build more drones. He missed his larva injects with his queen. Was larva starved a lot of the game and just could not keep up on production with Third, who made a strong marine tank push for the win in about 20 some odd minutes. Of course, I'm speeding up here a little bit. These are bronze level players who tend to keep their forces and their units pretty close to their vest until they are ready to attack, so not a whole lot of things to look at on the map. We got a marine, and that's not a criticism. That's just the way low-level players tend to play. And most of us, of course, are low-level players. Very few of us are actually high-level players. Looked like we lost an SCV there to a couple of Zerglings. Let's open up that production tab so you guys can keep tabs on what's going on. We've got a Roach Warren coming down already. Of course, we're going a little bit faster. It's like at the we're just now at the 5-minute mark. That's going to seem a little bit odd because we are at ×2 speed, so your time perception is going to be a little thrown off there. We've got a drone on the tower, and Zergling's pushing out. Looks like MtnDewMan is getting ready to take his natural expansion, and there it goes. And we see a little group of Marines coming out here for Third. Let's see if he decides to stop by that tower and have a look. Nope, running right by. And oh, now he's going to go check. There you go. Should always touch those towers on your way past them. It's a habit I need to get into, quite honestly. And we've got Metabolic Boost almost finished for our Zerg player, and just enough units at the top of that ramp to shoo those pesky Marines out of there. It's nothing worse than having Marines in your natural. Definitely want to shoo those out of there. You can get this stuff at the store. It's like this green bile gooey stuff that you can spit on the Marines, and that has a tendency to clear up the problem. Only problem is they come back with tanks and then you're screwed. But here we see a decent roach push coming from MtnDewMan. He's got the classic 7 roaches. He's going to walk up here and settle down. Okay, he's going to hang out here in threatening distance of the ramp, but has not pushed. And I'm not sure why he hasn't pushed. He's apparently just waiting for his opponent to get siege tech. Nope, here he goes. Trying to find a spot where he can do some picking and poking damage, but is, I think, going to decide that he shouldn't go up there because there are just a few too many gun barrels and that one really big one there to discourage that kind of thing from going on. We see a Cloak coming down and a Banshee on the way for Third, so much like in the first game, he's going to look to do some harassment with Banshees. We will keep an eye on that to see whatever becomes of that. Baneling Nest on the way now for MtnDewMan, and I have slowed the game down to normal speed. At about the 10-minute mark, we see the roaches making a retreat back home. And the watchtowers appear to be unoccupied at this point. The natural for MtnDewMan is up and running. Still has claimed these geysers, but has not saturated them. Queen could stand to do an inject there. He does have each of his, you see his hatcheries on 1 and each of his queens on 2 and 3. I like that for the double tap. Now he's got both hatcheries on the first hotkey. And the idea there is if you want to select your larva, you can hit your hatcheries hotkey and then S to select all your larvae. And if you want to inject them, you can select your queens quickly with a double tap on 2 like we just saw there. And that queen is the control group 2 queen, and then he would double tap 3 to get to his next queen and inject there. It's a very quick way to do it, and when I have the occasion to play Zerg, that's exactly the way I do it, only I use 4 for my hatcheries and 5, 6, 7, and 8 for my queens. I like to keep my army on 1, 2, and 3. Just because I like having the army at the closest to the end. It makes more sense to me, but I'm not famous for being a sensible person. The expansion for our Terran player 3rd now underway, going for a planetary fortress on that one, it looks like, instead of an orbital command. Gonna go for the defense as opposed to the economics. And we have another factory. I say another like I've seen another one. I really haven't. Is that his only factory? That is the only factory. So factory with a tech lab there. No tanks in production, no siege mode in production. Zerg player getting a little high on money. He might be, well, he also might have a couple of Banshees in his base. I wonder how long they've been there. Enough to take some damage. And it looks like these queens are finally going to shoo that away. I wonder where all those drones went. So once again, we had a significant drone pillaging going on there, where the 3rd was able to successfully harass the economy of MtnDewMan, and I'm going to take this opportunity to back the game up, BBB, and see what happened there, because who wants to miss all that action? I know you guys don't. And I'm the doofus who was talking about what was going on in bases and queens and stuff when the good parts were happening, so my apologies for that. And we're just going to try to get a look at how this harassment came about. Good grief, it happened so long ago that this whole video is now a picture of the backup screen. So you're welcome. You're not going to find quality commentating like this in many places, kids. So here's where it started. We were only 5 kills into it, so we didn't miss a whole lot. And it looks like we did have a response from MtnDewMan right away. He just didn't have anything to properly respond with. Probably aware that 1 queen is going to die to 1 Banshee, but now it's getting to the point where he has to do something. Gonna lose this queen. Banshee with 12, 13 kills. That is some serious harassment. Probably would have been better off to just... Well, he got some of them out of the way. But anytime you find yourself in a hardcore harass, double click, select everything in that area and get them out of there. If you're taking heat from one particular side, just double click and hit a mineral patch to move them all over, hopefully into your defenses, or just send them all to your other base. I would double click, send them all down here, and set up my defense, like get my queens down here to force those Banshees. If they want to continue their harass, they have to fly all the way down here. It gives you time to get some defense going. We see some Zerglings and Roaches pushing out. This is probably a retaliatory strike, and that Zergling sent a very good idea. Yeah, he sends 1 Zergling in, gets a look at this, sees that there's no way that he can march up there with what he's got without losing it all and doing very little damage. So, gonna pull right on back. It's the smart move. Getting the ventral sacks for his overlords, so they can do some transportating. I thought I heard a Banshee. Where is it? Where is it? I hear a Banshee. Where is it? These, there we go. Sorry about that, but even the dots on the mini-map are so multicolored I can't tell when. I mean, we've got red dots over here for 3rd and red dots over here for MtnDewMan. It makes it very difficult to pick out enemy units, so my apologies for that, especially to the players who may be watching this and mad that I'm missing all the cool parts, but think we just had a little bit of harassment there, so and that was handled by that queen, so very good on MtnDewMan. He's doing a much better job this game of keeping his drone count up, and I think getting those larva injects. His money's climbing a little bit, but that tends to happen when there's stuff going on, and we have had some harassment, so hard to keep up on your macro when you don't have the killer APMs. And we can see here these players doing pretty good, around 50, 55, so not too bad. About where I play at the top of the Silver League. And here this Viking is going to do some Overlord sniping. So annoying as a Zerg player to have your Overlord sniped. One of the things I hate most about Overlords is that they can be so easily sniped. They can be a very valuable resource when you can use them for scouting and vision, but they are so vulnerable while they're out there on their own, and having to clump them up and keep them inside your bases and defended seems like such a waste. But sometimes you got to do it if your opponent is making a point to go harass them. Nothing in production for MtnDewMan right now, so I'm curious as to what he's doing if he's not... Okay, he was loading up some Overlords. So here we see a bunch of Overlords loaded up. Notice the hurt one as a decoy with nothing in it. I kind of like that, because if I see all these coming into my base, I'm going to target fire the weak one and try to kill everything that's in that. But there's nothing in that one. He's so clever. And we're going to see where these guys go. I'm going to shift Control F to follow these. Look, Ma, no hands. Hands not on the keyboard. And I'm curious what's in these. I suspect banelings, but I wasn't watching when loading them up. Nope. Just Zerglings and roaches. I can't even confirm that there's a baneling nest in play this game. I know there was last game, and that's why I brought it up. But I think he went without the banelings this game. And here we've got some amok running going on here. Ooh, had the fusion core down. May have been going for some battle cruisers, but that's not going to happen. And these roaches could probably be target firing something more important than an add-on, but all the important stuff loaded up, so now it's time to go. So excellent harassment on the part of MtnDewMan there, and Third says, yeah, I got a solution for that. Here's most of everything I have coming right at you, SCVs included. One red one right there. I hope that looks that way for you guys. It's not just a visual thing on my screen, because it's really throwing me. It's like there's extra players in the game. The tanks unsieged. There they go, sieging up. Gonna rain down on this, and it looks like he's just gonna leave the tanks to clean that up while the Marines take care of these roaches. 0-0 upgrades versus 0-0, so equally unupgraded armies for these two players. And the roaches go down. There's that baneling nest. I thought I saw one. Double Evo chamber, good idea. No upgrades, bad idea. One production cycle's worth of Zerglings, probably not gonna do it. And even the SCVs are like, yeah, we can take her, and she gets taken. And here we have MtnDewMan finds himself in trouble again. Got a command center floating over here. So I like this by Third, making an attack and expanding at the same time. Always good policy. Look at all this stuff in production. We've got a spawning pool and a baneling nest, so I'm going to guess that he is rebuilding his main base over here and putting down the desperation wall of spine crawlers, while Third cleans up his main. He's just writing this off. Gonna get a decent refund on his taxes this year with all this to write off. The hive going down. Or is that a hive or a lair? I can't tell. Looks like a lair. Yeah, hives are bigger. I don't play Zerg a whole lot, but that looks like a lair to me. So SCVs with kills. Crazy game. But a nice strong push here from Third. I like that. Ooh, kill that one. There you go. And he's got to be feeling pretty good about himself right now. I don't know what he sees exactly. Yeah, he sees all this. with this Viking and on the scan. That would help. So with the scan, he knows this is here. He will be on his way to push this, but he certainly doesn't have enough to get through that wall. He's going to have to bring some more. Let's see how many more he's got. Doesn't look like he's got much more. 16 Marines, 3 tanks. So he's got a few. Just going to do a little long distance shelling, but that's only going to last as long as a scan. So third is going to pull back, just use this Viking to do a little harassment, but I think just didn't have his attention on it and got it killed by that queen. And I think he's smart to pull back here. He did a lot of damage, and what's the golden rule? When you're ahead, get more ahead. So I think he's just going to back up, take an expansion himself. He knows his opponent is on one base. At least he thinks his opponent is on one base. We know, because we can see the whole map, that he has another hatchery here that he just hadn't started using yet, and he's got. So if you're third, you know you got this one, you know you got this one, which could use a little more saturation, admittedly. There it goes. And now you're getting this one, so going to be on 3 bases. And because the main is mined out, or did he just float that one out? Oh, it looks. Oh, that's right. He got sacked by that drop. So kind of an abandonment of this one. Still got his production facilities there, at least the barracks. So he's just going to base up and tank it up, it looks like, and try to get further ahead. Let's look at the income tabs. We see he's super ahead here on the income. Not getting any gas though. Let's see, we've got one there, obviously none up here, and probably none here. Yeah, so only 2 SCVs on gas, which is really going to limit what he can do. He's going to be marine only. There we go, taking a couple more, but let's see if he noticed this. Looks like he did. Alright, so now that gas number is going to climb up for third. And got a good defensive position here with 2 bunkers and 4 tanks all pointed at the ramp. Going to be tough to crack. And let's give a little plus action here, so it looks like these guys are just going to build stuff until they feel confident. Greater Spire, or not greater, but regular old-fashioned Spire going down for MtnDewMan, so we could see some Muta play from him. Always strong with the Speedling, Baneling, Muta. Very easy to cover lots of ground with that. Not a whole lot of creep spread though coming from MtnDewMan, so his Zerglings are not going to be as effective as they could be. He could really get out here with some more creep, but in his defense, there we go with a creep tumor. In his defense, he did get most of his stuff blown up just a second ago, so he's been kind of in a rebuilding mode. We see a couple of queens here, so we will hopefully be watching that creep spread on out, and sure enough, there he goes. Also getting another hatchery like this play. And one thing I like about this play is, even if this one's discovered, it probably prevents this one from being discovered, because when your opponent finds the obvious thing, a lot of times they stop looking. I play the Protoss, and sometimes I will put a proxy pylon somewhere obvious and then put another one somewhere less obvious, and when my opponent finds the obvious one, they stop looking because they think they found my proxy pylon. So I kind of don't mind that. I mean, obviously you want this to be a successful base that gets up and running and provides income, you know, and better if it's not discovered, but hey, why not throw it out there and increase the chances of this one not being discovered? And we see third is going to make a good push at this. He's got all his stuff, and he finds it and blows it up, chases off the Mutalisk, no problem. And we'll have to see if he has the game sense to come up here and check this one or scan this area and actually discover that base. Because if he thinks he's dealt a big blow here, he might get a little overconfident and push, and it might cost him. Those tanks so left out of position. Oh my goodness, we gotta slow this game down. Those tanks were so out of position. We had, you know what, we're gonna back up 30 seconds and see what happened to those tanks. Alright, so we've got these tanks here. Look at how far away these Marines and Banshees get from these tanks. Just left them out there to dry. Oh, when there's mutas on the field, you just can't separate your tanks from your Marines. You got to keep it all together. Marines are Mutalisks rather are just so annoying in that they can be just about anywhere, just about any time. This is a huge Mutacloud. Where did he get all those? Apparently, I took a nap. Maybe he spawned all those when I was backing the thing up. But ball of Mutas takes out everything, and those Banelings just destroyed those Marines. Banelings suck so hard. I hate Banelings. But I mean, Banelings are awesome. So now, all of a sudden, we've got MtnDewMan, who is at a significant advantage because Third just got all his crap blown up. We see the army supply is a little bit higher, and his worker supply higher, and his army supply, let's look, or his unit count shows. Why am I looking at the wrong tab? Oh no, my tab is just covered because apparently I don't know what freaking button to hit. But if we look at the units tab, we see he's got this 24 strong Mutacloud, and while we do have a lot of Marines for Third, they are not all right here, and the Mutas are just going to tear things up. And see, just like that, they are out of range, and you got to run all your crap around this way, and then they come back down here, and then they're just going to go this way, and you got to run all your crap around. And this Mutacloud is probably going to spell the end for Third. I can't imagine that he would be able to get up enough defenses in time. Now that he's out of Marines, he's got 15 Marines to 21 Mutas. There's a good game from XxThirdxX, and that's a nice turnaround by MtnDewMan. He was getting he had a good push into here, got a good drop with roaches and zerglings, did a lot of damage, but then immediately got his base sacked and his natural sacked by the counterattack. Wrote it off, came over here, remained, and took another expansion with good saturation, made a lot of drones, and was able to get that Muta cloud up, get those Muta numbers high, which is the right thing to do against Marine tank with the combination of those Banelings. And he had a very opportune strategic thing here where the tanks were here, the Marines were all out here, was able to notice that and pick those tanks off, which just opened up his Banelings for that counterattack and took out those Marines, and then the Mutas were just unchecked. So very nice. We've now got a tied up series. The winner of this series gets to move on to Stage B of the tournament. Look for the link to that tournament page in the description of this video so you can get more details about that tournament. Congratulations, MtnDewMan, on Game 2. I will be back with Game 3. Look for that coming soon.